香槟酒气满场飞，柴光鬓银黄来回，爵士乐声响，挑软把采购位。你这样乱摆我。
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Po. I'm the owner of this company called Viewpoint Trading and Collectibles, which is mainly dealing with all kinds of vintage items. And I started off many years back. It's almost coming to 30 years. I was in the Navy for almost 8 years. And through this development, I travel with the Navy. And travel with the Navy, I see a lot of, those free markets and all that. I start to buy things and collect myself. That is how I get involved in these vintage items. Besides doing vintage in this line, scouting is another part of my passion that it's somehow or other, it makes my life more easy and at ease when I'm doing two things, vintage and scouting. I was in scouting during primary school. I'm serving until now. Regarding these vintage items, there is definitely people who always like to search for it. Those days when I started off are all the senior members who buy all this. But nowadays, mainly are all much more younger people are buying kind of vintage, collecting vintage items. Because the school, those schools, primary school or secondary school, they are also promoting this kind of vintage for them to have a study. I think probably it boils down to the education systems. That they want them to know something about our history in Singapore. In Singapore, there's still a lot of old houses going on. It's a matter of connecting it. Sometimes when the runner came with one interesting teapot, and this teapot is stuffed with old newspaper. So when I open it up, I find a lot of cash inside. I don't review how much, but then very interestingly, those Kong Ama or whatever, they will just put their things inside and then totally forgot. That's how all this comes about. Okay, now probably I will introduce some of these bottles. Very interesting bottle. This is a very first generation F&N bottle. The lion head, right? They're there between F and N. And this bottle is from the 40s or the 50s, where they have the drinks inside. And after that, the evaluation, they come with this in the 60s or 70s. Sometimes in the New Year, Chinese New Year, they will display this kind of bottle. And this one is filled with cherry. It's very hard to find this kind of bottle nowadays, especially when the water is intact. And also, I would like to introduce, the other one is our tiffin carrier. If you look at the texture of the flower itself, it's all embossing. Those days are the Nyonya people, they use this kind of tiffin carriers, especially got flowers, right? This cash tin, they come with different language, Malay language, English language, and Chinese language, right? And so with this cash box, one part of it, they are using coins. The other part of it, they are using notes. So this cash tin, they can pull up and down with pulley. They come with pulling up and pulling down, right? That's how you use it. Okay? Actually, you see, we are talking about online things. A lot of people who are dealing with this kind of vintage items, they don't really believe in online stuff, but cannot, because in this vintage line, you cannot go to the traditional way now. Because nowadays you're talking about online, talking about Facebook, talking about Instagram. So you have to follow. Those days, I don't really know about all this. But through my customer that tells me, I learn from them. That's how I go about to be online, to be in the Facebook, to be in all the Instagram. Certain people, sometimes I have buyer, okay, confirm already. I mean, $1,000. You say, okay, wait for me. I go ATM and take. By the time you go ATM, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, he never come. You got this type of people. Yes, very funny people, very interesting. So what to do? Just keep quiet, whether buy or don't buy. You still have to be very patient, and you cannot get angry over it. You put it back, what to do? That's part and parcel of life when you are doing retailing. Okay, the future development of vintage items is very hard to say because nobody knows what's going to happen. As I say, willing seller, willing buyer. I just do my very best. That's what I think. If those people who want to have do vintage hunting, you can come to Pohai Building, yeah, Viewpoint Trading and Collectibles, or you can Google me anytime. We are open every day, okay, from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m. Bye. Thank you very much.